I've heard a lot in talking about this topic that it's sometimes a chemical imbalance in the brain. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they say norepinephrine, serotonin, things of that nature. Explain that to our viewers and that chemical imbalance. Amy?
Sure. Well, so it's simplifying a little bit to say that it's a chemical imbalance. I mean, you mentioned a couple neurotransmitters, which are really important. However, there's so many interactions that are happening, and it's not just about how many neurotransmitters do we produce, but it's also about how our receptors. Some people's receptors may be a little more sensitive than others. Some may not be. So yes, we're absolutely looking at possible imbalances, but we know that depression isn't just a one source. That there are multiple factors that go into it. So, there can be, issues with receptors, neurotransmitters. We're also looking at life events, what's happening. If something major, if there's a huge change in my life, I'm also going to be looking at that. Trauma, stressors, family environment. So yes, there's a chemical portion. However, we're also looking at so many other factors that go into it.
Which brings me then to ask you, Grace, there's always that debate, nature or nurture or both? Both.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at both. So one of the things that we talk about is in the nature version of it, we're looking at the differences in those chemical imbalances and how is it that your body's already predispositioned to feel depression or to have depression. And then we're looking at the nurture side of it. So we're looking at who you grew up with. Not necessarily that it's your mom or your dad, but perhaps grandma, maybe auntie, somebody in your home that perhaps had some sadness or maybe a life event. Somebody's passed away, you moved, and you're not necessarily having the best time in the new location. That's hard for a lot of people. Change in general is hard for humans. We don't like it. We like things to stay the same. Even when we're choosing that something's changing, when we make that choice, I'm gonna get a new haircut, I'm going to get a new job, I'm going to get a new house, I'm going to move to a new city. We're making those choices. We have a hard time with that.
We do.
And so that sometimes leads to some other emotion.